Is everybody here ready for your free paring knife? Here you go. First of all, we got to get the shopping carts out of the way so they're not in the way of us. Ladies, get your handbags and purses out of there. Come on over here. We want to make sure you all get your paring knife. So first of all, we have these tickets. Come over to the table right over here and I'll give you a ticket. That ticket means you get a paring knife. You bring me the ticket, I give you a paring knife so no one gets missed. Also, it lets me know that you saw the first part of the show. Now, this paring knife is extremely sharp. You don't want to touch that part of it. It'll cut fruit, and it'll cut cheeses, or anything you want to use for a paring knife. Also, this knife is so strong, we call this a razor on a stick. So when you get the knife, be careful and put it into its little case, would you please, so you don't get hurt. When you get this, I'm sure you're going to give me a big thank you for this knife, and I appreciate that. But a better thank you would be to see the fantastic products we have. You see, I work for a company called Kessler Worldwide. You've probably seen our knives, haven't you? The knives that look like this. Remember on TV, it cuts through a can. How many remember seeing it cut through a can? You remember that one? Yeah, remember that one? Go ahead and nod if you've seen that. Remember, it cuts through a can. Remember that? We've had it 15, 20 years showing how this cuts through a can to show how strong this particular knife is. It's an amazing knife. And how does it become that strong? It's because we have a saber edge equipment that makes this knife sharp on both this side and on this side. So it's double edge sharp. That's a saber edge system that makes this knife strong. Now if you bought this knife on television, it'd be a different knife. You see, the knife would not be like this one. It would have rivets in it like this knife has here, so it's loose like that. It wouldn't be all one piece like this one. Anybody have a knife like this at home? You do, right? It has rivets on it like that, if you recall. Well, you know the problem with that? Bacteria gets inside of here. Oh, yuck. In your family, bacteria. But not with our knife, you see. Our knife is completely clean. It's not like that riveted knife that you have at home. You ever have trouble with a knife like this? You never have problems with it because we have a guarantee. The guarantee is not for 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years. It's a forever guarantee. Can you imagine that? Even if you broke it in a garbage disposal, it'll still give a guarantee. Wouldn't you like to have a guarantee like that on your cell phone? Amazing, right? Now, most problems with knives are because they're dull. You ever try to cut a tomato with a dull knife? You squish it, you squash it, you poke it just to get started. You ever have that problem? How about you, young lady? Had that problem? How about you? Yes? Yes? I see most of you had that problem, trying to cut something with a dull, dull knife. Now, the reason our knives are so strong, our engineers have taken many years to practice this knife and set it all up so it has good utility, so it's strong, and it's ergonomically designed. Also, it's made so it fits comfortably in your hand. Also, the bolster here so it has good straight, strong, and stability. And the tine is set up so it's flexible. So we've designed an incredible knife. Now I'm going to show you this paring knife in a minute. You're going to get all your paring knives, so don't you worry about that. But first of all, I want to show you a most incredible demonstration. If you saw this on TV, you'd say it must be a trick photography. But no, right now you're seeing it right here in person. We're going to take this knife that we're talking about, we're going to cut into this hammer. I need someone here to take a look at this hammer and make sure this hammer is not just a Toys R Us hammer. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? You want to do that, sir? Come on over here. Is that a real hammer? Go ahead and hit it, pound it. Let's give our hammer expert a big hand. How about that? Hey! Well, give him a big hand. He came all the way up here. There you go. All right, now let's try cutting that hammer. Let's put a little piece of paper underneath it so we get the filings out. And as we keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, gradually there's filings coming onto this tape paper. I'm cutting it as hard as I can. As I keep cutting, more and more filings come on. Now, if you can take a look at those filings you see right there, where do you think those filings are coming from? Not from the knife, but from the hammer. And how can that be? Because the knife is forged so strong that it outlasts the hammer. Amazing. Now that we made this hammer dull by doing that, what do you think will happen if we get some frozen food and try to cut it in half? You ever get frozen food out of the freezer and you want to cut it and you can't cut it with your knife? You throw half away. That's cash in the trash, right? Let's take this knife and we'll cut that frozen food. The knife that we just got dull on the hammer and the tomato, cutting that frozen food, see right in half. Isn't that amazing? Now this knife, you probably wonder, what would it cost to have a knife like this? That's a good question. That's $1 million question, actually. Actually, if you buy this knife in a fine store, you go take a look at this knife in a fine store, you probably sell about $100. Okay, we're giving you not only this knife for $100, but another one just like it for another $100. That's a $200 value for $100. Let's make it more interesting. Let's throw in 2 sets of paring knives too. So now we have 2 of these and 2 sets of these paring knives, and that's 40. So now we have $240 value. And how much is it again? Under $100 for that set of knives. But we here at Sam's Club, we want bargains, right? So if we want a bargain, we want another knife. Let's hear it for yes. How many want another knife? If you don't want another knife, I'm just going to end right here. How about another knife? Yes? Let's hear a big yes. I can't hear you. Yes, yes, you want a big knife. Here we go. We're going to give you this knife here. This is a fishing knife. What does that do? Cuts the head of the fish, the tail of the fish, or for hunting, and you can fillet with it as well. Amazing knife. Another $100 value. You get this one too. So now just a repeat in case you forgot, weren't paying attention. 2 of these knives, that's $200. 2 paring knives, that's $240. Fishing knife, that's $340. We got $340 for the price of $100. Is that a buy? Is that a buy? Anybody want another knife? How about one more knife? Say yes. Yes, I'll get you one more knife. Here we go. This is called a Shikoto knife. That's a Japanese name for 3 virtues because it chops and it slices and it mints. That's what this knife does. Shikoto knife. Another $100 value. I know you don't remember now, so we got to keep you going here. $200 worth of these knives. $240. $340 with the fishing knife. $440 the Shikoto knife. Would you like something else? Let's get a yes. How about a yes? One more set of knife. You're going to get a whole set of steak knives. Another steak knife. That's $540. $200 here. $240 here. 40 with these. $340. $440 with the Shikoto knife and these knives, the steak knives. That's $540. If you can get those knives, you want those knives, you only have to do one more thing to do that. You've got to stand on 1 foot. And you got to sing, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog." No, you don't really have to do that. All you got to do is come over up here and take a look at these knives. They come in this box right here. The box has the full guarantee on the top. For the whole thing is only under $100 for the whole thing. Who wants the first one? I see you were looking at it all the time. You want this first one? Here you go. What are you getting? You're getting 10 knives for the price of 1. Here we go. Great anniversary presents. Great gifts. Give it to your mother. Here you go. Give it to your wife. Give it to your girlfriend. Be careful of giving it to your girlfriend and your wife at the same time, you know. Anyone who wants these knives, we got a few left. Here we go. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. A great gift for the holidays. Great knives in a great box and a full guarantee on it. You'll never have to buy another knife again. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.